All right, we're gonna start with working on some lateral movement. So the idea is pretty basic, and we're gonna try to make sure that the material we cover, you can do it if you're extremely new or if you have a pretty solid amount of experience in jiu-jitsu. So the idea is this. My training partner's on the ground, they might be on their back, they might be seated. I'm trying to perform everything I'm doing in a pretty small space here in case you don't have a lot of room, and I have absolutely nothing except me and the ground. If you have a punching bag or some kind of dummy, you could use that, but we don't need it. All right, so I'm gonna get into some kind of stance here where I'm lower to the ground. Considering that right now I have a parallel stance, my feet are side by side, I could also be in a staggered stance. It's gonna depend on the situation. So, one of the main things we're trying to perform throughout all these drills is working on level changes. One of the really common mistakes we see in guard passing that makes you really ineffective is bending over at the waist and kind of having an alignment like this. This isn't always wrong, but it's wrong pretty frequently, especially in the gi where I have a collar. If I lean forward, it makes it so much easier for someone to access my collar. So one of the main things we're gonna be working on this whole time is keeping postured up as we continue moving. Okay, so first movement looks somewhat like this. I'm basically just shifting in either direction, side to side, all right? Trying to keep my weight distributed through my midfoot, and I'm just shuffling back and forth. The idea is the bottom player is moving side to side to follow me, and I may even end up going around in a full 360. So I move to one side, I switch directions again, I go all the way around, I juke, I go back and forth, all right? I can work on it at a stance of this height. I can get much lower. I could be down here moving side to side. This is really effective also. I can even put my hands on the mat and work on moving side to side like this, all right? We can talk a little bit about timing here. So the idea is my partner's in front of me and I'm standing directly in front of them, facing them. If I begin moving in one direction, they have to begin moving in that direction to follow me or I'm gonna pass. As they begin moving, I choose when I want to change directions. For them to catch up, they have to move in my direction, come to a full stop, and turn the other direction to follow me. So it's the same thing as like a crossover in basketball or like a juke in football. I move in one direction, then I switch, I get them to switch, then I switch again. I'm leading this dance, I'm controlling the timing and the pace, all right? So really focusing on our level changes, so trying to get nice and low, staying postured up the whole time, and moving side to side. Sometimes I think of this as a lock combination, like one of the ones you use where you spin. So I move to one side, I change to the other direction, I change again. All right, kind of like I'm trying to pick this lock to pass this guard. All right, really uncommon for you to just run around in circles around your training partner. Usually you're gonna have control of their legs. But to work on our agility, mostly, I'm shifting side to side. So what this might look like if I'm going slowly is I'm just trying to stay low, I'm shifting side to side, I'm changing directions, I'm visualizing my training partner following me, and I'm going back and forth. I want to get a little bit lower, I get right on the ground and I shift. Trying not to separate my arms too far from my body, and trying to keep a really solid bend in my knees. Okay, so I'm going side to side, back and forth, really simple like that. The idea of this movement is basically a Torreando. Okay, so my hands might be on their knees, I might be pushing their legs side to side, like this, pushing their knees, and moving laterally